Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time we completed the investigation into the mysterious body we found in the garden. We assumed it was Kyoko because, well, Monokuma came back, so I mean it couldn't have been the mastermind that died. And then Kyoko showed up as we were heading down to the trial. So, yeah, many things are afoot. Anyway, let's go ahead and look over these here truth bullets before we start. We got Monokuma file number 5. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. Yeah, a bomb was strapped to them. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. He had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. There were also other wounds, but they were at least several days old. Exploded body analysis. Yeah, the body was too burnt because of the fire, because of the bomb. Upper half of the body remained on fire, had to be extinguished because of this. The upper half was soaking wet while the bottom half remained dry. Fake nails were found on the hand of the victim. There is also a tattoo of a dog on the right hand. Fragments near the dead body is part of a bomb that had been removed from the gym when they were disassembling Monokuma. Sprinklers. The sprinklers are blah 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 blah. Can't talk today. It's the day after Christmas. I'm still a little, like, messed up from the previous day. Had some really good food. Anyway, the sprinklers are set to go off at 7:30 every morning. So, yeah, and that time cannot be changed. As such, it can be assumed that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. When the body was found, well, 7, Makoto woke up. 7:30, him and Hina went into the dining hall. At 7:30 to 9, Makoto meets the others in the gym. Together, they head to the headmaster's room. 9, Toko is told to find a pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body. Knife at the crime scene. This was the knife that was used to stab the victim. Yeah, it was also the knife that Makoto was supposed to be watching. Yeah, we have tarp. One side of the tarp is muddy and grimy. The other side is completely clean. Chicken coop. Chickens. The other day we saw 5 chickens in the coop. Today there's only 4. Byakuya's account. He was in the garden the night before. Didn't see anything there. And him, Hina, Hiro, and Toko were all together throughout the entire night. In the gym, looking at Monokuma's little body there. Body before the explosion. The corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering its body. I've been thrust into the abdomen. There were blood stains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground around the body. Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. She is, in fact, the ultimate soldier. And yeah, she was a part of a little mercenary group called Fenrir. And yeah, members of Fenrir get a tattoo of their logo somewhere on the body. Monokuma's account. Apparently the killing game began with 16 participants, all students. It is assumed that Mukuro was the 16th student. Also, he revealed that Kyoko wears gloves to hide something she doesn't want people to see. Quote unquote, scars on her hand. Woodblock key. This was found in Kyoko's room. It is one of the keys to the lockers in the dojo. Titanium arrows. Did I say errors or arrows? Anyway, titanium arrows there were found in the locker that had its key missing. There were 10 in total. Yeah. Bloody duct tape was found at the bottom of that there locker. Yeah. And Kyoko's account. Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school to sneak to the second floor of the dorms. This area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. Alright, and yeah, like, did they mention that? Oh yeah, it grants access to any room in the school. Okay. Interesting stuff indeed. So anyway, let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
He's not too bright.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Hey, Hiro's trying his best. It's not his fault he's
Okay.
stupid.
So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Can't believe we have to do this.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Well, I mean... Okay. Because the body was covered up... I mean, well, the face was covered up with a mask, so Kyoko's gloves, because the corpse wasn't wearing gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're going to be stuck here and the case won't move forward. Or you could just ignore Hiro and move forward with the case on your own, just saying. So I don't have any choice but to... Okay then, fragments, sprinklers, exploded body, why did I say extended? Fake nails and the tattoo. Huh.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
It really is. That's the first and only time I'll ever agree with Byakuya. I know that body isn't Kyoko's and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is
Okay,
just
wearing
a ghost.
gloves. Okay, alright, fair enough. Because if the heat is
Prove it.
hot
She's not
enough
a ghost.
to melt fabric,
The dead body
it would also
wasn't
be hot
wearing
enough to
gloves.
melt like acrylic
They got
nails.
burnt up in the explosion.
Like I would say the melting point for nails
Gloves before the explosion.
is like not as high
She must have been
as the
wearing
melting
gloves.
point. Oh god, it hit the white noise. Oh, it didn't. Okay.
What's wrong?
But yeah, I think acrylic nails would melt before fabric. That's just me though.
No.
Well, not even
There's
melt,
no
but burn.
way the corpse was wearing gloves.
I mean, fabric doesn't melt. It burn. Whatever. You all should hopefully understand what I'm trying to say here.
Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
I mean, there's also that too. But I mean, to be fair, like in fast food, I've seen girls with like fake nails, and they still have to put like food service gloves over their hands, and they're still able to function fine. I'm stunned those gloves don't rip, but hey, it happens.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Oh my god.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's what we already said.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Alright, so we got the bomb fragment, sprinklers, exploded body, fake nails, and the tattoo. Are those the same exact ones?
Kyoko really is still alive. Then
God,
who
if.
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's
Oh, crap.
nothing else we can do, right?
We need to find out who the victim was before we can do anything else.
If Kyoko really is still
Huh.
alive,
Okay, wait, so my only options here are... Well, yeah, I mean, Toko is right in that the body was burned beyond recognition, so I guess the incorrect statement is that Hina says we have no way of determining who it is, but I guess we can go based on the tattoo because members of Fenrir, right? Maybe?
I don't think so. The
Scorched
face
beyond
was
recognition, I mean,
scorched beyond
that's...
recognition.
Oh my
There
god,
wasn't any
accuracy, what
description
is
in the
it?
Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, hitting the wrong... Screw it.
then there's nothing else
Crap.
we can do, right?
Yeah, let's speed this up a bit.
If Kyoko really... Then who does?
Ooh, that was awful.
I don't think so. And there wasn't any
So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a shot.
Identify the body?
There we go. Okay, that was correct. Because yeah, we do have one thing to go based off of. If we can narrow down members of Fenrir, yeah,
left
okay.
behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Hmm.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
I love that eager face of his.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Actually, it's a wolf.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Let's just move on.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
Who would do something like that?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. So will we go based on the profile? Because that list, yeah.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Seriously? Okay, well, Byakuya did mention this. Yes, a 4-letter word with an O. Yes, these are in fact the controls. Okay, good. Just making sure. Come on. Come on. And that was easy.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
I do like the fact that whenever Toko is dropping knowledge, she does not stutter whatsoever.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Never mind what I just said there.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Well, I mean, a child soldier is pretty, like, despair-like, if I were to say so myself. I mean, come
All
on.
it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
We're getting a little too meta here.
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Toko and Genocide... No. And, no, I mean... We kind of already had one suicide plot. It would kind of be hacky writing to have two suicide plots in a row, just saying. So, I guess it's Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it! Can't let this stand. Somehow have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want, somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? Well, we know it was at 9.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot right now. Okay, go get that pickaxe. Be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. That's smart thinking right there, Makoto. Okay, bomb fragment, sprinklers, exploded body. Why are they giving me the same ones?
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Crap.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
The incident took place in the garden, right? If I remember, there's something that happens every morning at a certain time. Oh, okay, yeah, the sprinklers then. I was thinking, like, wait, what? So, yeah, oh, wow, my time. But yeah, the sprinklers are set to go off at 7:30 on the dot every morning. I'm sorry, what?
Shoot!
Wait, what?
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my god.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
So I guess I'm thinking too far ahead because then the body would have been wet by the sprinklers.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Huh.
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Exploded body, fake nails.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Do I have to present exploded body?
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. and
The fact
Makoto
that the
doesn't
body
have an
was
alibi for most of that time.
dry?
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh god, okay,
Shoot!
I'm confused.
We've established a time frame for
Fragments, sprinklers, exploded body, fake
the murder.
nails, tattoo.
Somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Unless... Oh no, no, no. No, I was thinking about it incorrectly. Hina's statement isn't a contradiction because that's just confirming that Makoto was asleep until 7:30. Like, he doesn't have an alibi up until 7:30. That is true. What Byakuya was insinuating was that the murder took place after 10. So that's what I gotta disprove. And I think I would want to present the sprinklers for that? Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I had the right train of thought. I was just, like, going against the wrong, like, insinuation.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
You're the one that spewed them. Also, wow, the imagery.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
I know, right?
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. Oh, seriously? Alright, standing up for this, I'm not about to screw up. Wait,
I admit.
where are the controls? Alright, got it. Let go. Wait, no, I don't.
No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. How
Okay,
can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
Body before the... Yeah. No! That was wrong? Crap,
I
okay.
admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough!
Okay.
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
Exploded body analysis, because half the body was dry. Yeah, that was it. Also, wow, what was that? Ambidextrousness that lets you
Just
lock one to
remember
two
what
at
the body
once?
was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Yeah, if that was ambidextrous, that allows for that. Wow, that made that very simple. I still very screwed up because despite reading the controls, I still couldn't remember the controls when I started. Oh well.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
Please, Toko, just stop.
I'm so sick of her.
I know, right?
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Whoa, that's a strange thing to say.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body. Could it have been... the tarp?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
There has to be a clue hidden in the tarp somewhere. All right, just want to make sure I know which one it would exactly be. Body before the explosion?
It from getting wet.
It might be body before the explosion because, like, if what Kyoko was saying is true, like the tarp was covering the body and the body was stabbed with a knife, wouldn't there be blood on the tarp that was touching said body? You know, and plus no blood on the ground around the body. Okay, I'm gonna give that one a shot. Body before the explosion. Oh, I got time. I can deal with it. I don't need to get all the white noise.
Of course it didn't get dirty.
All right, let's give it a shot. And I'm right.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Plus, you know, if Eminem is to be believed, a blood stain turns orange about 3 or 4 times after you wash it. So, yeah. There would have still been a stain on the tarp. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got the blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... Oh no! They took... Chicken George?
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Priorities.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, At the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Oh, disguised dead body has been added to True Police Secretary Handbook. Well, that's a new one. We're getting it in the middle of the trial. Let's go ahead and look through it, shall we? The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed a white jacket on the body. This jacket had previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
I mean, if you want to get technical, there was a point where Toko was away from the group by herself. And that's when... actually, no, that wouldn't even work out, because the moment she would have cut open the chicken, she would have turned into Genocide Jill, and since they don't share memories, Jill wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'll just finish what Toko started. Unless Toko left a set of directions for Jill to follow, you know, just saying, you know.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, your idea was dumb.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? We can't let Toko carry it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me? Oh, Kyoko was the one that suggested that, huh?
We gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Alright, what do we got? Disguised dead body, body first exploded, exploded body, now there's fragments, and bomb fragments, and when the body was found.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I used that knife to kill Mukuro? No, there's no way. Is there only
Knife we
one,
found lodged in the
like,
dead body.
thing?
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did
Well,
have that
we
knife-
know that the disguised dead body. Yeah, that was chicken blood that was used to disguise the dead body. So, by the fact that the body was disguised to make it look like they had been stabbed, can imply that it wasn't a stabbing
Seals it.
that killed
Because
them.
that automatically makes me the
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
Oh my god.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. Because, according to the Monotuma... What? Have I been playing too much Binding of Isaac? Am I trying to call him Teratoma? Monotuma? But no, that doesn't even make sense. Toma. Oh, whatever. But yeah, according to the Monokuma file, the victim had been stabbed a single time.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Wow, rude.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Moving on.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Tell them, Naegi. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Well, duh.
I got it!
It's a bomb
After the
fragment.
explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate by pressing R1. No, okay. Alright, body before explosion, Monokuma file, and exploded body analysis. Only 3, so are we going to do a flashback then?
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I can only think of one thing that could have killed her.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury
I'm not seeing a
has yet
contradiction
to be
here?
determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Body before the explosion, exploded body
yeah.
analysis.
She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire
Oh,
body.
crap. Okay, wait, what am I missing here? Because Monokuma file, body before the explosion, exploded body analysis. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused on this one. Because that's right, the explosion did not kill
She was
her.
already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the
The
knife.
victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Oh, okay, alright. I see what they want me to do.
Well, yeah. She was already totally
So I'm
dead
not
when that
refuting anything, I'm just saying like what I think the fatal blow
And then there's only one other
was.
thing.
Oh yeah. That's
So
gotta be it. There was
let's
evidence that showed she was hit
let's
on the back of her
completely
head.
let's completely screw up
The
everything.
victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then shall we
And actually
continue
do
the
this seriously.
The victim's
Fatal injury has yet to be determined.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
Oh my god.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
That doesn't even make sense.
No way! The balance would be all off. wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
But then that would be the easiest class trial in the world, so...
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Okay, where did that even come from?
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Hero, you got issues.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon. Well, I mean, I guess it could be the titanium arrows.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Alright, we're back up to 5, okay. Lady Duct Tape, Kyoko, Monokuma, Woodblock Key, Titanium Arrows.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
There is no doubt that the arrow is the murder weapon, but there is more to it than that. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, like, she has a point. One titanium arrow would be real skinny, but what if somebody were to bundle them together
Are you sure?
with duct tape?
'Cause in the Monokuma, it said the weapon must
I'm going
have
to be
been
ready
about
for
as
this one.
thick
This
as
one
a metal
shrinks.
pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
I mean, you know, there's also the fact that when we were exploring the 5th floor, we talked to her in the dojo. Just saying.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have Evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo? Well, I mean, we do have the woodblock key, which was found in her room, that went to that very locker.
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? Woodblock key when the body was found, Byakuya's account. Okay, there's only 3, so that means flashback!
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Byakuya should know that Kyoko didn't do it. But why him? Well, okay. Let's cut to the chase here. It's very simple. It's because he took her room key.
Exactly what I said.
So,
I'm not
yeah.
the killer.
I just need to know which
You
one.
should
Not the
understand
killer. I
that
guess
more
that's
than
what we're
anyone
trying
here.
to prove.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
No, we're trying to agree with the fact that she's not the killer. There's proof.
Is that what you're saying?
Is that what I
You stated
refute
a
then? Like
theory
his,
earlier.
there's proof thing?
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just
Okay, I don't know
What do you mean?
what statement I have to use against what
Exactly
here.
I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay, I guess I want to get her second statement, like the whole thing, like, oh, in my room, and then use it against his, there's proof?
Master would never...
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated said I hid and
And left the locker key in my own room. Correct?
But
I'm gonna give it a
could
shot.
I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof
That you aren't the culprit.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? You vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap? The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro? And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. You spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? She said it herself right there. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Okay, so I can pursue the lie. I can just let it go. Or we can run away. Let's try running from this random encounter. No, running away isn't going to solve anything. Decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Well, darn. Well, we can't run away from the truth. Let's pursue it.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
She told us herself right before the trial, too.
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is definitely lying. And it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Kyoko's account, Byakuya's account, and Monokuma's account.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Wow, I don't have a lot of time. Alright, but Kyoko says it wasn't her who left the key to the dojo locker in her room. But is that really true? Because, yeah, we do have Kyoko's account that she used Monokuma's secret tool
There's no doubt
that allows
about that,
access
right?
into every room in the school.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
crap baskets. Wow. Whew, that was close.
No, Kyoko could have gotten into a room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Who is found guilty? Oh, and we got the jackpot. I guess we were right. Good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right. We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
This time, is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Game over. Kyoko has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Well, everyone's not getting punished, so I guess she did kill Mukuro. After school lesson. This one is so messed up because you could just hear like the crusher behind you just slowly getting closer and closer. Just that mental... Is that a biology lesson? Seriously? Her facials though, like those really good facial expressions there, like, but yep. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or, regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it proved to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Just let that sink in. Hiro was right all along. The mother of his and Makoto's children is the same. Gross. Peace, but only inside the school. Oh, hey, look, the panels on the windows are gone. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope? Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!